already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did, huh?
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch.
Coach, thanks. We are about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this.
Come on, set, 50, plant.
58, come on. I got you. Switch.
6-6, pull it high, shoot.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Going to give this time to the tailback. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Yes. Hey, wahoo!
Throwing again. Herbert. Hunter Henry brings it in. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
218, chop.
2nd and 9 now. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Herbert. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. This one complete to Reed. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Packers' 35-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey! 5.
44, Mike, 44.
2nd and 5. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Watch the screen. 30. Check 50.
Bravo.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59. I got you, Pop. Mike, check. 59.
Now Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Watch the pass. Check 43. He's checking crap. 56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. Hey, tight.
Jump out.
56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike.
Rodgers now to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
A gain of 14. And a Packer.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Under 10. 10. Motion. 56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Melvin Ingram has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Got it.
The Charger drive about to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Za'Darius Smith racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Irvin to return. Oh, able to avoid him. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Throw left side complete. It's Lamb. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there on the screen pass. 53 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Dillon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
56. Mike, 50.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to go up top, and he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert going deep here for Allen. And that's caught inside the 30. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Back to throw. Herbert. This one caught by Davis. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Trevor Davis, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Badgley, up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
To throw again, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield.
At the 46-yard line.
18 Gator.
Let's go one more. Hey, check 24.
Greystone, travel.
49, check 49, check 49. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check nickel.
Big grip.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, exit. Now.
I got you.
Hey, foxtrot.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Hey, echo. Yep.
58 to Mike.
Here we go, let's bring it.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Go, jackrabbit. Come on. Ready?
To throw on third down. Herbert. And it's complete. Henry. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Protein spill. Get it.
Throwing on first down. Herbert. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Look at me. Go.
He's coming.
We got nothing up.
They'll look to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Badgley able to knock this one through.